Excellencies, distinguished delegates, the Philippines generates approximately 61,000 metric tons of solid waste daily. This includes 52% biodegradable waste, 28% recyclable materials, 18% residual waste, and 2% special waste, and of this, about 12.24% is plastic waste. Filipinos consume over 163 million plastic sachets, 48 million shopping bags, and 45 million tin film bags each day. Alarmingly, only 33% of this waste is disposed of properly in landfills, while around 35% is improperly discarded, often leaking into the environment and contributing significantly to ocean pollution. Legal frameworks for waste management in the Philippines. The country's waste management system is primarily governed by two key laws. Number one, our Republic Act 9003, otherwise known as Ecological Solid Waste Management Act of 2001, establishes a nationwide framework for solid waste management across all sectors. Number two, the recently enacted law, the Republic Act number 11898, otherwise known as Extended Producer Responsibility Act of 2022, shifts the responsibility for plastic waste management from local governments to communities to producers. Republic Act 9003 mandates local government units through their solid waste management boards to prepare and implement 10-year solid waste management plans. These plans emphasize feasible programs for reuse, recycling, and composting, while also identifying landfill and transformation capacities for waste that cannot be reused, recycled, or composted. However, while 89% of LGUs have approved their 10-year solid waste management plans, only 52.8% of barangays have access to materials recovery facilities, and 53 of LGUs have access to sanitary landfills. To support waste management, the Department of Environment and Natural Resources has issued several directives, including the following. Department Administrative Order Number 2006-09, which refers to general guidelines for the closure and rehabilitation of open dump sites and controlled dump facilities. Department Administrative Order Number 2006-10, this is the guidelines for categorized final disposal facilities, or we call it sanitary landfills. Department Administrative Order Number 2019-21, this is a regulations for waste-to-energy facilities to promote sustainable energy solutions. In January 2025, the 24th anniversary of the Republic Act 9003 was commemorated, with DNR highlighting the need for supportive investments, regulatory enhancements, and collective actions to achieve the sustainable environment. Implementation of Republic Act 11898, or the Extended Producer Responsibility Act, recognizes the limitations of RA 9003. The Extended Producer's Responsibility Law, or EPR law, was enacted in July 2022 under RA 11898, primarily to address the plastic waste crisis. This law mandates producers to implement recovery and diversion programs aimed at achieving plastic reduction and neutrality. Key milestones on EPR implementation include, in January 2023, DNR issued Department Administrative Order Number 2023-02, which outlines the implementing rules and regulation of said law. August 2023, the launch of the EPR registry through the Look Forward campaign to track compliance of these producers or industries. December 2023, provide the deadline for the producers to meet the 20% plastic recovery target for the previous year. In July 2024, this sets the deadline for submitting the 2023 EPR compliance and audit report. What are the challenges in EPR implementation? Despite progress, several challenges remain with the EPR implementation. These are as follows. Number one, lack of comprehensive data systems, difficulty in tracking waste and recovery efforts. Number two, fragmented infrastructure. This pertains to the logistical issues related to waste collection and recycling. Number three, high cost of implementation. the financial constraint faced by the businesses and the stakeholders. To address these challenges, DNR issued Department Administrative Order number 2024-04 last April 22, 2024, which provides guidance for obligated enterprises, collectives, and producers' responsibility organizations in meeting EPR compliance. The National Ecology Center and the Environmental Management Bureau oversee compliance. What are the compliance and industry participation? As of December 2024, 978 companies and establishments have already enrolled in the EPR registry, reflecting growing industry commitment to sustainable waste management. These compliance rates include 779 out of the 869 companies, or 89%, submitted their ECARs. 64 out of the 155 obligated enterprises met compliance requirement. 50 out of the 77 collectives provided compliance report. 375 out of the 448 companies under PROs submitted their ECARs. 290 out of 298 MSMEs voluntarily participated in the program. What is now the future policy directions of the department? On solid waste management, the EMB has proposed several initiatives, which includes the following: conducting a waste analysis and characterization study. Second, feasibility studies for waste-to-energy projects. Third, mainstreaming extended producer responsibility across sectors. Fourth, programs for the informal sector. Fifth, localization of the National Plan of Action for the Prevention, Reduction, and Management of Marine Litter in LGU's solid waste management plans. The DNR, in collaboration with the other agencies, has drafted and completed public consultations on the following policies: DNR-DOE-DOST Joint Administrative Order on WTE facilities utilizing combustion technology. We have also DNR Administrative Order on siting of the WTE facilities. Furthermore, the DNR chairs the National Solid Waste Management Commission and has adopted the following: the Roadmap for Plastic Waste Management and Reduction and the National Plan of Action for Marine Litter. So how do we now enhance EPR implementation? To enhance EPR efforts, the DNR plans to introduce the following policies. Number 1, National Framework on EPR for all product wastes, not specifically plastics. Number 2, Guidelines on Certification and Fiscal Incentives under Republic Act 9003 as amended by RA 11898, a joint initiatives between DNR and the DOF. Number 3, non-fiscal incentives in collaboration with DOLE and DSWD will be provided to the complying industries. Number 4, EPR and registration monitoring fees will also be adopted. Number 5, an EPR procedural manual to streamline compliance will also be formulated. The successful implementation of RA 9003 and the enactment of RA 11898 mark crucial steps in the Philippines' ongoing efforts to address solid waste, particularly plastic waste pollution, and promote environmental sustainability. While significant progress has been made, much work remains to be done. Strengthening collaboration among government agencies, the private sector, and the communities is key to ensuring the success of both the solid waste management and the EPR initiatives. On this note, we are pleased to also highlight that in 2023, under the administration of President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and the leadership of our DNR Secretary Maria Antonia Yulo Loizaga, the Philippines officially joined the Global Plastic Action Partnership at the 28th Conference of the Parties to the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change. Furthermore, in January 2025, the DNR spearheaded the launching of the Philippine National Plastic Action Partnership, which brought together over 140 leaders from various sectors, including government, private sector, civil society, academia, and development partners. These collective efforts from the Philippine government aims to drive innovation, implement actionable strategies, and accelerate the country's transitions toward a circular economy. With this, we reaffirm our strong conviction that through the continuous refinement of policies, strategic investment in infrastructure, a commitment to accountability and collective action, the Philippines will steadily progress towards realizing a circular economy and a cleaner, more sustainable future for all. Thank you, and I wish everyone a good day.